Where do you see yourself in 5 years? If you've been in the workforce for any amount of time at all, you've likely heard this super common, most asked question in interviews. I'm here today to share the perfect, tried, and true response to this question. Hi there, it's Ashleystahl here. I'm a career expert, keynote speaker, Forbes columnist, and most importantly, author of the book to help you get clarity on your best career path fit called U-Turn. Get unstuck, discover your direction, design your dream career. I'm also the host of the U-Turn podcast, my show to help you elevate your confidence in work and love. The fact is, as young professionals, most of us simply don't know where we'll be in 1 year, let alone 5. In fact, every 5 years, according to research, one of your skills becomes completely obsolete. We're in a time right now where the workforce is developing so rapidly. So this question can be overwhelming and really hard to answer. In fact, the person interviewing you probably doesn't even know where they will be in their 5 years from now. Perhaps you're the opposite and you have the next 5 years planned out, and if so, lucky you. And yet, as they say, life is what happens when you are busy making plans. You don't ever want to hold yourself so accountable to a plan that you don't allow yourself space to change or grow along the way. So first, let's start with what not to say. You don't want to say something obvious like, well, hopefully I'll be working here. You might think what they want to hear is something like that, but that's probably not what they're looking for. Instead, you'll want to talk about how you're going to grow and evolve in your role and your skills, what kind of impact and results you hope to have for the company and in your career. And even if you don't see yourself staying there for 5 years, that's definitely not something that you need to tell them. Most likely, if the hiring manager is asking you this question, they want to know whether your goals align with the job you're applying for. In short, they don't want to have to fill this position again anytime soon. So let's talk about different approaches you can use to absolutely blow them away with your answer. Number 1, do ample research on the company and the role before you walk through the door. Part of this research means getting on LinkedIn and evaluating other people who have been in the exact role you want, how they describe the job. What kind of growth are you seeing on their profile? LinkedIn profiles tell a story that job descriptions just won't. And yet, I also want to advise you to really read the job description and ask yourself, what is the point of this job? What does the company need from this job? Look at the company's competitors and evaluate the LinkedIn profiles of employees in a similar role at other companies. From there, you can write down some bullet points around the impact that you would love to have for them. This means you could say something like, I know this role requires someone with a very analytical mind, and given that your goal is to double sales through understanding customer data, I'm excited that I've excelled doing exactly that in my last role. This would just be on a much bigger scale, which I'd really love. Number 2, get clear on what your natural gifts are and how you plan to sharpen those even more through the role. While looking through those LinkedIn profiles I mentioned, ask yourself, what key skills are you seeing needed in this role? How can you communicate that these skills are natural gifts, ones that you'd love to sharpen even more through the position over the next 5 years? Make sure to consider both the hard and soft skills you think you'll need for the role, and reflect on stories from your past work experience that demonstrate you have these skills. 95% of employers are looking for candidates whose skills translate into out-of-the-box thinking and innovation. So this is the perfect opportunity to show them what you've got and marry who you are naturally to what they're needing over the next 5 years in this role. This could sound something like, I know how important your customer service base is to you given that most of your revenue is coming through your membership program. And with my boss having always commented on my communication skills, it's something I'm really proud to be using as a way to boost your customer retention. In fact, on a recent project, I just increased retention by 25% just by calling customers on the phone and talking to them, making them feel heard. Number 3, stress your long-term interest in a career path with the company or the industry in general. Hiring sucks. Recruiters are there to do it, but turnover costs companies tens of thousands of dollars per person lost, and then finding the right person, someone who won't leave, who won't demand more money than they're willing to spend, who will do a great job, can be quite an effort. So whether you plan on staying and advancing at this company or quitting and traveling the world in 5 years, be sure they know that you are committed to your career either at their company or at least in this industry. The interviewer wants to know that you are willing to settle down and you're invested in growing with them. This is why I never hire anyone at my company who tells me they all want to start a business like mine. While I'm all for entrepreneurship and following your dreams, I don't want to have to rehire someone just months after they've been onboarded. It makes my heart sing to hear that someone wants to stay and grow with me for a long time. Number 4, demonstrate your enthusiasm for the job. No matter where you are in your career, there will always be room to grow and to learn. So always tell them what their company can do for you instead of only focusing on what you can do for them. This is probably not the common advice you hear, and it makes sense for all the career experts to remind you that you should always make it about them and the results you want them to experience because of you. But companies also love knowing that you would be happy there. It's a security plan for them because happy employees, they don't leave. So if you take one thing away from this video, it should be this: always tell the truth, and that's easy to do by telling them how you can learn and grow through the position. Do you like this video? If you do, I would love for you to share it with your friends, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you next week.